The 22nd Amendment is more important than you may know. What does the 22nd Amendment have to do with? It has to deal with the president's tenure. The President of the United States of America can serve a total of 2 terms, each term being 4 years for a grand total of 8. President George Washington was the first to suggest that a president should serve no more than 2 terms. But nothing was in the Constitution to prevent this from happening. But generally, presidents throughout the years have never served more than 2 terms. Until President Roosevelt. He served with us through the Great Depression and World War II. He was re-elected to a 4th term, but unfortunately died in the first year of his 4th term, where his vice president took over. After President Roosevelt served 4 terms, Congress passed the 22nd Amendment on March 21st, which was later ratified a few years later. This said that a president could serve no more than 2 terms. But there is an exception to this. If a president is, say, assassinated, and the president has only served 2 years, his vice president may finish up those 2 years, and then his vice president can run for 2 more terms and serve a grand total of 10 years. For example, President Nixon. Spiro Agnew was his vice president. He resigned during the Watergate scandal, which put Ford in the vice presidency. Then Nixon resigned, which made Ford the president, and as everyone knows, because of this, Ford was never actually voted for by any people. But if President Ford had ended up serving less than 2 years of Nixon's term, he could technically run for 2 more terms and serve a total of 10 years. That is, of course, after Ford would have to be elected by the people, even though he pardoned Nixon after Watergate scandal. And this is the 22nd Amendment.